habang hinihintay namin yung next na maging resource persons and magiging budget deliberations. So, during that time, there are times for congressmen to mingle with each other. And ang ginagawa ko, kasi bagong vlog ko yun eh. Imbis na ginagawa ng mga ibang vloggers na naka-selfie mode sila tapos magsasalita sila. Ang ginagawa ko, parang first-person perspective view. So, naka-front camera face. Tapos, para makakita ng tao yung first-person view ng what it's like to be in Congress. Before, I was worth a few millions. Like, bago na, because I had my work as counselor and everything. And then, nung namatay si Cong PD, dami niyang iba-ibang properties because he was a lawyer for decades, politician for multiple decades. So, ngayon, di namin alam actually. Because there are certain properties or assets that he has that cannot be divided between me, my siblings, and my mother. So, medyo, ngayon, hindi pa masyadong na-aasikaso yun. Kong PD, minsan pag may mga achievements ako or may successful akong ginagawa, binibigyan niya ako ng money or bonus for Christmas. So pinapost ko. The biggest I've held was 2 million. During that time, it was my first time seeing that much money. So, syempre, pupost ko yun. Yeah, I didn't steal anything, so I'm not necessarily living off stolen funds. Well, I've never seen Kong PD in Congress, so I would not be able to talk on his behalf about how he was during his time. But for me, I'm not just different from Kong PD, but I'm also different from every other congressman. He prefers very clean methods in solving his problem. Strictly by the book, what is the common procedure, what is tradition. Though as for me, I prefer more chaotic methods. It's not that I like to disrupt, it's that I'm open to using disruption when it's necessary. Yes, because people, they always consider their family first. They always consider their friends first. What is first is what would benefit the most people, or what would benefit my constituents the most. Because if I were to always consider my mother's feelings, how about the feelings of the other mothers or the other children who rely on me to do what is right and to create a system in the lower house? I read this book from Third World First. It's a very beautiful book. I initially thought it was about Singapore and how Singapore developed, and it's partially about that, but it's also about Southeast Asian history. He has a very particular view of governance where a meritocratic state, or one that values people's skills over their connections with each other or political connections, is one that would outperform other states, or ones which value partisan politics instead of maximizing the use of their legislators and of their leaders. Everyone would say the same thing, say that they will never become corrupt. Well, as for me, you'll just have to wait and see. That despite how I portray myself in the media and during interviews, one should not completely trust me because I am still a politician. You should not trust that I will never be corrupt just because I said it. You should always just wait and see any further evidence or further details before you decide on a politician's nature. Right now, I'd like you to trust me. Well, actually, ngayon, yung sahod namin sa Kongreso, and just the benefits alone, you don't have to work for everything. All the food there is free. Your staff are also allocated to you. Your secretaries, everything, even the legal team. So if I had that much money, what would I spend it on? Just more problems. Because whether I'm earning like 1 million a month or 10 million a month, over earning like 200 million a month, there's no difference, because at that point, I'd be earning so much that I can't spend it on anything. At some point, you make so much money that you start just scamming yourself and buying useless things. And I don't really want to get scammed. Well, not yet. Hindi ka pa alam. We don't know, because once you start telling yourself that you can never be evil, that's the most dangerous situation to place yourself in, because everything you do from that point on, you would believe to be good, even when it's evil. So every time, you always have to ask yourself whether or not you're still doing the right thing, whether or not you're still a good person. So if you're always saying that I am a good person, and then you start allowing small evils while still believing that you are good, that's when you start actually becoming bad. The best interest of the Philippines, when you start to consider that, is that if you apply it on a larger scale, if every citizen will only think about the best interests of their own countries, then that's where we have geopolitical issues and wars. What if instead of considering the best interest of only our country, we consider what the best interest of the world is? And that's what I'd like to consider. I want to do what's best for the Philippines, but on a grander scale, I want to do what is best for the world as a whole. I prefer to keep any topics on religion confidential. Firstly, my constituency is composed of multiple different religions, and I do not want to favor any. Secondly, I firmly believe that religion and politics must be completely separate topics. And considering this a political discussion, I do not want to partake in any religious discussion here. And lastly, it's also a manner of a private thing for most people, and it's something I don't really like talking about. But I do believe in God, and I do believe that there is justice in this world, and there is something that we can do to help bring about that justice, not just through God, but also through the bodies that God has given us. Or just think whatever you want about me. That's fine, because I would act accordingly in reaction to what the general public assumption of me would be. If you start to believe that, then what stops the next congressman or the next upcoming politician to promise the same thing and possibly gain a higher position than end up betraying the people? I don't want the general public to be gullible. I want them to know that if they cannot see change within the world, they themselves must be the change that they wish to see. And that's the exact method that I'm doing right now. I cannot change the house alone, but I will change as much as I can alone. There's no end to this. Human nature always has room for conflict. And in that conflict, these types of battles emerge. There are no ends to these. I'm merely another result of the system. A system that's corrupt will also produce people who seek justice for themselves and for the greater community as a whole. Too busy for that, but I do casually date girls from time to time, like twice, 3 times a week. No serious relationship, but I am seeing girls. Yeah, I'm having my fun. Hindi yung mga sa mga pictures ha. Those are complete professionals. Kasi parang mga influencers din sila. Tapos yun yung mga naging mga picture photo ops nila. May time dati na naipag-date ako tapos hindi ko pala alam na transgender. But that's okay. Oh, it's a casual date. Tapos malalaman ko from her friend na transgender. It's a very funny story, but not really one I'd like to say in front of everyone. There are multiple different ways of looking at it. They deserve to be accepted, yes, but for same-sex marriage and for things like Soji Bill, everything, there are multiple layers to this. Firstly, it starts with acceptance, but to what point would that acceptance be? And how could that relate to legislation? So I believe that it's not in my right to say whether or not a homosexual, may be married, but it's something that someone who is more well-versed in the topic. Yes, we've had a discussion about that in terms of local ordinance. And ultimately, my final decision on it has been that it is something that must start with the national. So once Congress has made a decision, or at least the majority of Congress, or the ones involved in that committee, has made a decision, then that's when we can start considering what possible legislations could be made. But from a personal perspective, yes, I do believe that you have the right to care for your significant other. Hopefully, this might become a new movement, a new take on politics, and how my ideas and the ideas of the new generation could help shape this country and prevent us from reaching the same results that we've always been reaching. Thank you. I had a great time.